It's too nice to not grill today. But when you're carving scales, it's good to have something to take breaks and do instead of carving scales once in a while, you know. Excuses for breaks, pretty much mandatory for scales. I'm gonna use a ball burr to make a hole for a brass rod. Like that and that. It's gonna be where the spring is, you know. It's gonna leave a cavity in the mold that I can insert a spring into. Spring-loaded swim bait. That is being a little lazy and using my wood blade to cut the brass right. I want the section where I'm gonna install the spring into the silicone mold to be a little bit below. I'll have a parting line going down the length of it and the ability to spread it and pour plastic in there still. What is that, like 2 millimeters? What do you think? Do the fish care? Some of those spines are a little off. You think the fish can tell? Let's get this wood sealed. Did I show you guys the scales? I like those scales. I'm tempted to just throw some triple thick over those scales. Any inconsistencies in the carving, which there are a few, you can tell, will just kind of get glossed over. I worked out a pretty streamlined system for carving scales. Like that all took less than an hour to get all of those scales on this body. It's not very big, but yeah, let's just go for the triple thick. My painting bench is a mess right now. Kind of nervous to do this. This will be good to know though. Didn't go all the way over so that the triple thick spills into that hole, leaving that hole open for the rod. Okay, I'll stop, I'm sorry. Where'd those scales go? It's okay. It'll drip, it'll dry, it dries thinner. You can kind of see some shape of the scales poking through in the glare there. You know, if it's really thick, and it really covers up those scales. It'll still have a texture, as you can kind of see right there. So we're gonna be fine. Everything will be fine. It's gonna be okay, Chip. This is not an outro. Can't go outside yet, the bait's not done. I'm just kidding. I really decided to go big with that paddle. I'm thinking the spring. Dude, I lose these springs so often. We'll add a ton of rigidity to that little tube section, and there will need to be more of a paddle to get this thing to move. Starting with a lot of paddle. Alright, that is on there. It's gonna be a little mold. That'll be nice. I've been super gluing the mold box down for like everything lately and haven't had a leak. It works wonderfully. Dude, that catalyst for the silicone I use like ate through the container and just spilled everywhere. Like the bottom of the container blew out. What the heck? Look at that. I didn't hit it on anything. It's like all morphed and turned into a spout. It just pours out. That's crazy. Need to get some new silicone. It was just sitting right there and that happened. What a mess. The longer I've had this silicone too, the thicker it's gotten while you pour, which is not preferable. You don't want a really viscous material to have to mold around your master initially. It's just not ideal. See you this afternoon. Almost 10 o'clock right now. I don't know, I'm guessing this will definitely be done by like 2 o'clock and we'll be able to mold some baits. It's 1 o'clock, but it feels ready. I'm gonna need to get a razor blade and slice along the tube. It's an unsettling thing to say. That's a clean slice. This is looking to be a pretty clean mold. Look at them scales. Time to see how a spring fits in here. Perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. It holds open a little gap even in the top there. That's gonna let air rise out of there and the plastic will probably flow straight through that without me having to finagle. The springs stick out on either side just a bit. That's gonna give the plastic in the body and then the tail piece something to grab, you know? Okay, let's pour a solid color, see how it goes. 360-degree plastic, see how it flows. Looks like it flowed through. Fill the body cavity up. I feel like that went smooth. Into the body cavity, I kind of just splashed the plastic. I wasn't thinking. I should have like started at the nose and let the fins down there kind of fill out slowly. Those might have air pockets, but I was like 200% engaged on the spring, you know? Here we go. Big moment. I don't know. It just kind of feels stiff on the tail there. It is springy. It added rigidity to that area for sure. And the fin filled out down there. We got a jig head on it. It meets up pretty flush with the body. This was like an uncured, still squishy bait. Really, you should give soft plastics like a day to cure before you use them. I never do, so don't do what I do. Let's see how that works though. I haven't looked at it yet. Oh my goodness. What's it gonna do? Nothing. Nothing at all. Oh my goodness. That tail is just being held in place by a piece of metal. If you go really slow, there's like a tiny, tiny side-to-side wobble. Tiny, tiny. Only sometimes even. That's not even consistent. Dude, I can't believe how still it has that tail. It just holds it there. For what it's worth, it does a really good job of holding the tail still. This was a complete fail. I don't want to go any further and even try to make this action work. It's so bad. I do want to pour one of these baits and just see if it works without the spring. That's probably good to know. It probably works pretty good without the spring. I can try different hardnesses of plastic. This is the softest plastic that I have. Was hoping that because it's so soft, it gives the spring all of the maneuverability, but there is none. Zero maneuverability. Fail. I gotta pour a pretty one for the thumbnail still, with a spring in it. Maybe a long tube for the tail is just the way to go. That is just flimsy as heck though. That looks goofy. That looks really goofy. Let's see how it works. Yeah, it's kind of what I thought. It's too flimsy. I mean, it does kick. If you get it right, it kicks too much. I need a harder plastic. Like, that's too much. It's just a bunch of twisting at this point, and sometimes it stops because it's so flimsy. Let's try the harder plastic. It might still be a decent bait. Let's try. Here comes a lovely color shift and bait plastics 342 hard blend. I'm gonna try to meet in the middle inside of that tube. It did. I saw it. We're good. That's a crazy color. Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful color. Feels a little bit more rigid. I'm gonna let this sit in water for a bit and try to stiffen up. Here we go. Whoa. Okay, now it's just the most ridiculous action I've ever gotten out of a plastic bait, soft plastic bait. Oh my goodness, what the heck? It's like jumping around. It's staying stable, but it has a consistent, like, jump around action. What the heck? That's intense. Look at the jumpiness. Dude, that is absurd. You can tell that that tail was made to catch so much water because I wanted to get that spring to work, but the spring's just too stiff, it's too much. But with a hard blend plastic, it's bordering too much action. But I like it. It's super intense. Still need to pour a pretty one with a spring in it for a thumbnail though. I already got a belly color poured in there. I'm gonna do a solid black lateral line now. Oh boy.
I guess right now it would be, instead of a seaweed nato, it would be called a sargassum nato. We got a bunch of sargassum.
That spring, there's just no action to be had. It's kind of surprising how soft you need the plastic to be to get a good action out of soft plastics. You need a very forgiving material. All right, I got some monkey milk and black flake and the hard blend. We're just gonna be pouring hard blend from now on. We're just gonna get a decent collection of working baits going here. Oh, you guys aren't supposed to see that. Whoa, whoa now. Okay. We're gonna toss on the monkey milk and black flake. Quite confident in this bait. It is pretty big, didn't even measure. I don't think I could have put that on any more crooked, but we're gonna fish it anyway. Oh, I just had a hit right there. It didn't hook up. Oh, that was another hit. This bait doesn't have the best hookup ratios. Whoa. Oh, he's jumping at me. That one's kind of spotted. Huh. Dude, another hit. Getting panted. I just need a full-sized fish to take interest. Full size. Dang. Right there. Gonna come back. Dude, that took all day to get a substantial hit like that. And I missed. So we're putting on a 30-pound fluorocarbon leader. I have one of these, just one, fishing in pike water. I don't know why I didn't pour more last night. Been working on a big side project, that's why. But let's get to it. There we go. We finally made it official. Whew. Had to go to a super strategic against a rock wall location for them to pin it against. But it's official. Bass. Like swim baits that you were gonna put springs in but didn't, and then figured out it worked better without them, and then, you know, the whole story. I don't know how to say it in just one sentence, so it's official. Be free. That was brutal. That took like 4 different spots and hours and hours and hours of fishing to get that one bass right there. But thank you for sticking around through the trials and tribulations. Yeah, Chip, one sec. This is a very flammable box right here. It's just full of 31 pounds of Tupelo wood. Large, delicious chunks of buttery smooth wood. Oh. They gave me a wildflower mixture. A gift from Woodcraft. And 10% off my next visit. Thank you. I'm gonna use those. I don't think I've ever been so proud to own something than a little mountain of Tupelo wood. Lovely. That means we're getting back into the hard wood baits. That's soft wood technically, but we're getting back into wood baits next video for sure. Come on. Not sure exactly what to make yet. The weather's getting right though. they're gonna start reacting to stuff, you know? Stuff wobbling along, gliding along, jittering along, plopping along, who knows? It's been a long time since I've heard some topwater explosions. Kip, come on. So if you have any ideas on what the first on what the first bait I should make with this beautiful Tupelo wood is, comment below, say it, let me know. It's good stuff, can already tell. On to the next bait. Look at that. Oh my goodness. What the heck? Can't go outside yet. Yeah, let's just go for the triple thick.